About Spur. I think this describes it pretty well. The game, within a webcomic within itself. How much more meta can we get? What do you have to understand? What do you have to understand while reading? Well, you don't even have to understand it. It's still good. But one thing you can understand about Homestuck is that almost everything in Homestuck in some way relates to games or game culture of some kind, down to the multiverse. Basically, we have the Bepharus, like, in the comic, they're described as A1, A2, B1, and B2. That's the description of the universes. This is the basic order in which they go. If you want to look at it, do. If you don't want any spoilers whatsoever, you can completely ignore this. But basically, while reading the comic, one thing to understand is that they all represent some sort of release, like a game release, like the beta release, the alpha release, the first release, and the final release. And within the multiverse is the game. There is Skya, which is basically, what you have to understand about Skya, Prospect, and Nurse is that it's basically one big chess game. You have Skya is the board, Prospect is the white, Nurse is the black pieces. Oh! Another person was late.
So Dirk is late, but he's here.
Grab a Starbucks.
But everything in Homestuck relates to the games. A good example of this is in Homestuck. One thing that happens is when a character dies, they have a dream self on either Prospect or Nurse.
You smell like death.
And so if a person dies and another player...
Dirk, come sit with the alphas.
He can sit wherever he wants at this point. I need to move on. Anyway. So when a player dies, another player can kiss them and they are replaced by their dream self. And basically the whole idea behind this is you've got multiple lives in a game. It's like it's your second life. It's like your first one. If you mess up once, you got it back.
The only exception to this rule is Matuna and Solix.
Matuna and Solix. And the comic will basically explain that. But that's what you'll be seeing a lot of references to games, game culture, everything from like pool, chess, pool, cards, card games,
cereals.
And one of the things about
I just realized we're all from Prospect, pretty much.
Oh yeah.
Except for one Durst player.
Turk Berserk.
Equius.
Yeah, Equius. We have two.
Nurse and Puppet for Prospect.
Pop it.
Anyway.
I have hot glue.
Yeah, we have hot glue.
Does anyone have any tacky glue or hot glue?
I have super glue. You already gone, Sam. Thank you.
Homestucks are always prepared for everything.
Yep.
And we have. And apparently our fandom is the fastest fandom in existence. Seriously, Andrew Hussey comes out with an update, and there is an update artist, somebody, coming out with a cosplay for it.
Oh, like the one from
Anyway, so one of the things that makes Homestuck, in case you're wondering why so many people actually get into this, one of the things that makes Homestuck really popular is it's one of the few things that has actually managed to take internet media and pop culture and actually make it work in a way that people can actually sympathize and be like, oh yeah, that's how it is, and that is totally funny. And I think we just kind of lost her. It's fine.
If I can interrupt for a moment, I think we should give this Frisco a round of applause. I can't believe that just came out of my mouth.
Be nice to Frisco.
Be nice to your fellow blue bloods.
Most of us don't like her.
Hey.
I love her.
You're evil.
Alright. Oh, you gotta go back.
My girl.
Johnny.
That's so weird. It's
That's
showing
his
my
background.
screen, but not the...
Why am I in your background?
Oh. Yeah. Okay, give me 2 seconds.
While they figure that out,
What did you just do?
Meanwhile, in the Legion of Doom.
I know.
Game's
it
done.
is. He just exited out of my...
Cosplay the high blood. You're not funny.
No, I didn't exit out of it.
Yeah, I know, but I have to like recover my documents. Like, that's
Hilarious.
Hey, look at
Hiding in the
congratulations.
corner.
And thank you for saying I'm funny.
Why
It
didn't you
took her
touch
to
anything?
fucking
God,
funny.
what's wrong with
Let's just
you?
go on with the panel.
What's wrong with a bunch of goats laying in her office?
Anywho, let's get back on this.
Anyway, I can do this without the slide. So basically,
That's our incognito Solix.
yeah, this is just our background. It's pretty. It looks cool. We're good.
Your background.
You do?
High blood.
I know, but okay, just so basically, what to understand how it became so popular. One, it's a comic that actually manages to take pop culture references and use them properly. And 2, I know I will have it later. I want the chocolate anyway,
There's only 2 chocolates left.
and I get one of them.
I want the other one.
he wants
Well,
the
then
pink one.
we're good. Anyway, and the other thing about it is there's a reason that Homestuck has earned the name Ulysses of the Internet. It's this super long and intimidating thing, and a lot of people get really scared. I ship it. Actually, aren't we going on 8,000 now?
Yeah.
Yeah. 7,000 plus 8,000.
We're like 50 away.
Let's just put it this way.
Okay, please stop talking.
Basically, it's this really, really long story that starts out a little bit slower and like picks up as you go and gains so much more. Like I said, you've got like editions of little flash games that you can play, and the flash games even start to get more complicated throughout, and then like amazing flash videos with music and
I find that a lot of people have trouble getting into it with the kids. Like, they just don't think that we're interesting enough for some reason. But,
Don't skip ahead.
no, I actually suggest don't skip ahead permanently, but go to, like, Act 5.
no.
That's what I did, and I
That's a
had
terrible decision.
Boo. No. Like,
No, like,
if
you
in
go
the end
back.
you do that, we're not gonna hate on you. But I'm not suggesting. I don't want it suggested.
If I can make a suggestion, I suggest for everyone to go on YouTube and
Yeah,
read
that's
and
what
go
I was
to
gonna
Let's Read Homestuck.
Yeah.
If you are not
There you
patient
go. That'll
enough
help
to sit and read
But-
each page, all
But
you
as
have to do
many
is watch the
people
video.
as there are who complain that it's really hard to get into, there are just as many people who get out of it because, oh, I enjoyed the funny part. It started getting too serious for me, and you just don't realize they exist because they're not in a Homestuck anymore.
Well, I mean, no, but the way that I started was I skimmed through all of the first 3 acts because I just wanted to cosplay trolls.
Yeah,
I
just
saw all these
skimming
trolls
through it
walking
is one
around.
thing.
I thought it was awesome, so I skipped ahead, cared, and then skipped back forward and actually read the one.
We're not
the
giving
parts
people
with the
advice on how to read it, just why it is what it is.
Let's just say
I
this.
think it's
It
Like,
takes
we're-
about a
we're
month to read
all
one
different
act.
opinions here.
Yeah.
I think he's
So
gonna
let's
end
just
it on
let's just put it
9001.
in this perspective. It'll take you about a year to read the whole dang comic and get caught up.
Actually, no, I have a friend who started 2 weeks ago and is like already on Act 6.
Oh yeah.
Dang, your friend reads fast.
Yeah.
read it during school.
I caught up
That's
in 2
cheating.
months.
The experience is as
I
varied
got
as
through
the
the first act
individuals.
in 2 days.
Anyway, why you see people who are so extremely dedicated to this, and why you see so many people who are so extremely dedicated to this, is it's a concept, a psychological concept. It's effort justification. Literally, like, you go into this thing and you end up putting a lot of time and effort into it, a lot more than you may even think you are when you start to get really into it. But when you get into it, you get really into it because of the fact that you've put all this effort into it. It's worth it.
There's a pretty great picture that they edited of.
It was great plan.
Did you just do a frosting-ectomy on the cupcake? There's an edited picture of a Doctor Who thing that they turned it into Homestuck. He's like, well, I better figure out what this Homestuck thing is all about. And then it's a picture and it's changed. And there's just like, they've got troll horns on. They got one of the shirts on. There's a poster in the background. They're just like, well.
That basically explains it. So all this culminates in an example of how big this has gotten. The legend of Homestuck and Cascade.
Cascade!
Quick summary! So basically, once you catch up with the comic, you'll be waiting, unless you don't decide to read it until the comic ends, which we don't exactly know, but it's estimated to end sometimes.
We don't talk about that.
We don't talk about that.
Estimated to end sometime soon.
I was telling people that they might not get the full, but basically, for most of us, what it is we catch up with it, and then we are waiting for updates. And updates come, and everybody says update, and then you get on, and you check, and then you read it, and then you go talk about it somewhere.
You ever want to get a Homestuck's attention?
And Hussey looks at that.
By the way,
Hussey looks at that,
That's a bad word. We don't say
and
the U
it
word.
goes into the comic even more.
I
So
like
it-
update.
It's
This
a
is
comic
PG-13,
that
don't
reads
say
you
the word
almost as much as you read it.
Case in point, the Peachy incident.
That's another one not to get into.
We don't talk about that.
That's another one not to get into.
Have me in on that one later because I think I'm in the dark.
Yeah. I'll later. Anyway, so what happened, the legend, is one of these updates was scheduled to be a really, really big, like, amazing flash video that was going to, go into the next act. And there was apparently a miscommunication because it was such a big flash video that Hussey couldn't host it on the regular site. So he decided he was going to host it on Newgrounds, and there was a miscommunication with the person. It was supposed to be hosted on a special high traffic server. And he ended up, because Hussey didn't get this information, he ended up putting it on the regular server.
Jesus.
Hussey
And
broke the internet.
everybody said update, and Newgrounds crashed.
The entire site was.
And then
So
they
we're
put it on YouTube
single-handedly
and-
responsible for crashing Newgrounds.
No, but then he uploaded a
Like a
patch so
Huss.
that you could
Yeah.
download it onto
Yeah,
Mega
it did,
Upload.
and it helped. It helped that.
No, it
They crashed
Mega
Mega
Upload.
Oh yeah, that's
And
right.
they
It
crashed
did break.
Skype, and they crashed live stream.
I missed those two, but it did
It
crash.
literally cascaded.
Cascaded. That's the really funny part about it.
By the way, there was a
Destruction across the
two-page
web.
update last night.
Yeah.
Yay!
We read it.
Yeah, do it. Anyway, so now that you know a little bit more about the legend it is Homestuck, since a lot of you here are Homestucks, we have a short Q&A portion. Not as short.
Can I do that summary thing? Hussey's a word master.
Okay, yeah, you can do your quick summary. That's cool.
All right, to sum up this and get to the Q&A, here's a quick summary of Homestuck in 3 sentences. Hussey is our Lord and Master. Everybody dies. The end.